Welcome to Learn Islam. Today, we dive into the profound connection between Mecca and Medina, exploring the deep love and longing the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam had for Mecca and the special blessings he prayed for Medina. Join us as we uncover the heartfelt moments and divine supplications that shape our understanding of these sacred cities. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to our channel for more enlightening content on Islam. Mecca is not a place that has any particular beautiful beaches or oceans, or any particular greenery. Most people who have seen Medina and Mecca, in terms of just the nature of it, would say Medina is far more beautiful than Mecca. But it was still home to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. It's all that he knew, and the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam now knows how special and blessed this place is. There's a heartbreaking moment where you see that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam literally rises from a cave at the beginning of his hijrah. He looks back at Mecca and speaks to it for the last time before being run out of it. He says to Mecca these famous words, "How beautiful, how pure, and blessed of a place are you and beloved to me." In one narration, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, "Beloved to Allah. Had your people not run me out, I would have never lived in another place." So the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam is basically saying to Mecca, I would never leave you had your people not driven me out. There was something about even the way the Quran was revealed to console the Prophet and console the Muslims when they first migrated to Medina. The verses were about Ibrahim making dua in Mecca, asking Allah for acceptance and for Allah to honor the house with believers who come from all over the world. You have all these verses about Ibrahim making dua in Mecca that were revealed to the Muslims when they first migrated to Medina as a form of comfort to them, and also to let them know that one day the promise of the father Ibrahim alayhis salam would indeed come true. Then there's this narration where you have to balance the love that the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam had for Mecca with what would come of Medina later on. We are experiencing Medina in a very specific way these days. A narration from Aisha mentions that she went to visit her father after the migration to Medina. Her father had fallen extremely ill. Medina was known as a place where people got sick. It was something in the water or whatever it was. When people would get to Medina, they would always get sick. Almost all the Sahaba got sick, and her father was among them. She describes the scene where they were both laid out, stretched on their backs, sweating from the fevers they had. She spoke to her father and asked, "Oh my father, how are you?" He responded in the following way, "A man wakes up every morning amongst his family, and death is closer to him than his shoelaces." Basically, he was saying that after this migration, he doubted they would even make it in this place. So surely, they would die because of this illness. Despite his illness, he reminisced about Mecca with deep attachment. He would rise to his elbows, stretching out on his back, and he spoke about Mecca with longing. He mentioned the valley and the vegetation that would grow in Mecca around him. He wondered if he would ever get to drink again from the water of Mana and if he would see the mountains of Shush and Arja, which are two particular mountains on the outskirts of Mecca. They are very beautiful and unique in their shape, and people used to take their animals there. He missed Mecca to the point that he started to talk about the specifics of it. In one narration, he even began to curse the mountains and the people who ran him out of Mecca to this place in Medina. He could not stand it. Aisha then went back to the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam and said, "I don't think your two companions like this place very much." The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam asked why, and she explained what they were saying and the poetry they were chanting out of their longing for Mecca and the hardships of Medina. The Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam then raised his hands and made a supplication, "O Allah, make Medina beloved to us as much as we love Mecca or more, and rectify it and bless us with its fruits and with its measurements." These measurements include the mud, which is a unit of measure, and is 4 times that amount. Bless us with its weights, its fruits, and everything that comes from it. And take away this fever from us and all the illness that we are struck with. From that day onwards, when the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam made that dua for us to love Medina, know that we are still benefiting from that particular dua. If you have been to Medina, you might feel a deep connection to it, one that you might not even feel when you go to Mecca. The Prophet ﷺ said that Ibrahim ﷺ sanctified Mecca and prayed for its people. The Prophet ﷺ prayed for Medina to be twice as blessed as Mecca. In another narration, the Prophet ﷺ said, "O Allah, place in Medina twice as much of the blessings that you have placed in Mecca." So the Prophet ﷺ prayed for us to love Medina the way we love Mecca, and more. He prayed for Medina to be as blessed as Mecca and more in every single detail. Just like Mecca, Medina becomes a sanctified place. When you go to Medina and realize that you are in the presence of all these places where the Prophet ﷺ was, know that there is not a tree in Medina except that the Prophet ﷺ either touched it, prayed under it, or received revelation under its shade. That's why when he would walk in Medina, he would say, "It might be that my footstep will fall in the footstep of the Prophet ﷺ." So we love Al-Medina from the dua of the Prophet ﷺ, and we love Mecca from the dua of Ibrahim ﷺ. Both places, along with Jerusalem, are sanctified by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and made beloved to the hearts of the believers for all time. Thank you for watching this video on Learn Islam. We hope you gained a deeper appreciation for the significance of Mecca and Medina in Islamic history. If you enjoyed this content, please give us a thumbs up, share it with friends and family, and subscribe to our channel. Stay tuned for more insightful videos that bring you closer to the teachings of Islam. Jazakallah khair and see you next time.